Listen up, Gotham. This is Batman. Tune into the Bat Fan Addict podcast with Sammy Warm Hands. And if you don't, I'll be coming for you.
Hey everybody, it's the Dark Knight of Rap, Sammy Warm Hands, and this is not the Bat Fan Addict podcast. Wow, I kind of went a little Borat with that nod, didn't I? I will not be joined today by my co-hosts Ben and Evan. This is just a bonus episode. We did an Instagram live after my recent trip to Seattle for Emerald City Comic-Con, and joining me is my friend the Nando Knight, who visited LA Comic-Con, and my friend Everything Batman, aka Dunk Dave, who visited C2E2 in Chicago. So we are all going to recap our con stories. Again, thank you guys for listening to the season. Now that is complete, this is just a little something extra for you. This is our Comic-Con recap. Well, I appreciate you guys doing this. Me and Nando were talking the other day about we had each just got back from doing a con. I was like, oh man, I wish that we could just do like recap each of our experiences, you know. And then Dunk just got back from Chicago too, so we all had our little trips. And I thought, well, shit, why don't we just do a little live, and I can record it. We'll drop a little bonus episode for the Bat Fan Addict podcast, and yeah,
why not?
Little menage a con over here. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, where to start? I mean, I guess Dunk, you just got back. You know, highlights. Who did you meet?
Damn, where the hell do I begin?
I know.
First off, like, it was difficult going to, like, this was a con where, like, I thought I was going to go, like, some people that I'm close with. At last minute, things didn't work out. For whatever reason, no hard feelings. Like, it's tough, you know? It's tough committing to things like this. So I was like, whatever. Listen, I'm a lone wolf. You could put me anywhere and I'll figure it out. So I fly into Chicago. I get a cab. And I didn't realize how big Chicago was. Yo, Grumps, what up?
What's up, Grumps?
Yo.
I didn't realize how big Chicago was. Like, it was like a $65 like Lyft ride from the airport to downtown. And like the con was still under 3 miles away, whatever. So burger, beer, sleep, wake up. I walk to the con. Everyone's like, can't believe you're walking. I'm like, it's daytime. I don't have to worry about getting shot.
Yeah. I did the same thing, man.
You going to Shot-Town?
I planned mine, though.
6'7" body into a trunk, you know, at least in broad daylight.
Yeah, I'm going to take a couple of rounds.
I'm with you, though, because those fucking Lyft fees can add up. So I always, like, I'll be looking at the map on the Airbnb or on Expedia or whatever. I'm like, okay, where is the best for me to just throw on a backpack and walk down there, you know? And so, you know, I was within, I think, half a mile, you know, even though it was pouring down rain, it wasn't far.
Yeah, I stayed downtown North River, and they actually, like, by that area, there's a lot of places that, like, Dark Knight was shot at. So it was like,
yeah.
When I was walking around, I took pictures of all these places, and everyone was like, holy shit, like, you know, that's where this was at. That's where that would happen. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm walking around, like, with goosebumps, enjoying the shit out of it, just walking.
That's awesome.
But come Friday, I got to the con about 8:30. Everything started at 10. I was probably, like, maybe, like, the 40th person online in general admission.
Yeah.
I had this whole thing where, like, I have to go to the Comic Man. Shout out to the Comic Man. They had all these exclusives. Dope as hell. Which I did. I went there first. Then I was like, cool, from there, where do I go? I walked Artist Alley like mad quick. There was like, I don't know, like 15 aisles. And I was like, all right, cool. This person's going to be there that time. This person's going to be there. Sweet. I hit up Amanda Connor and Jimmy, got some shit signed. Went to Joelle Jones. So happy to see her. Got so much signed. She actually, Jimmy did a sketch on my Batman blank. Joelle Jones did a sketch on my Batman blank. And that was massive for me.
That was rad.
Yeah.
The Joelle was dope.
She's so sweet, man. And she said she was in Oregon? She lives in Oregon?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think we were talking about Oregon. And that's how I was like, yeah, I stopped once at Coos Bay. And she was like, there's no reason to stop in Coos Bay, Oregon. And I was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I live out here. I'd never gone over there. That's probably like less than an hour away, I think.
Location over you.
Yeah.
Then I was like, where's Kimmy Garcia at? Just to map that out. I was pretty much around all over the place on Friday. Friday, I finished the majority of my things, but
Did you do 2 or 3 days?
I did all 3. But I bought Friday and Saturday first, and then figure out like Sunday. I was like, all right, if I don't have to go Sunday, I'll walk around Chicago and just chill. No, I had to go Sunday. I had some CGC stuff to handle. Shout out to Capture Collectibles. Those guys, when they're not around, man, they hook it up. When they're around, when CGC's not around, they hook it up. Like, they're really great peeps. Yeah, Friday was just, I knocked out so much. I didn't see Kimmy Garcia until Saturday. And I talked to her for a bit, just chatting about Harley Joker and, like, her family and the detectives and the psych behind all the characters and all that stuff. Great conversation. But it was a lot. And being on your own, I realized you could get so much shit done. Because it's like, instead of like, yo, what are you up to? No, I'm out.
Dude, it's honestly kind of better because I've done, I think, 3 alone at this point. Yeah. In Portland, in Seattle, and in San Antonio. And you can kind of just make your plan, pop in and out, be moving around. You don't have to be like, ooh, I want to look at the stuff, over here. I'm like, no, I got a place to be at 11, And so it's kind of freeing to just be able to pack a bag, bring all your shit, look at where, like you said, when you get to Artist Alley, I know so-and-so is going to be in this booth at this time, so I got to go there first, and just kind of like mapping your shit out so you get the cool stuff, Yo,
Bad Force Times, what up?
Times?
Yeah, it was kind of like cool, like alone, but then like it also gave me the opportunity to link up with people that I've seen at other cons.
Yeah,
like people I saw at Terrific Con, people I saw at New York Comic Con, people I saw in Baltimore, and like we just built a stronger like relationship because we saw each other at these cons. Just this year, I don't know, it was different. It was so different. Normally it's like, hey, what you up to? Where are you going to eat? And we can get into the conversation about eating later. I ate.
You're not used to that deep dish over there in your New York pie, bro. Yeah. It's a whole different world, man.
That deep dish is eating a fucking birthday cake.
Soup.
Wasn't soup the first time, but no, overall, man, like it was just
it's true.
I like the fact, all right, so thank God I'm not like Marvel and DC, right?
Yeah.
There's DC people you go to, and there's Marvel people you go to, and there's people in between. I could focus on DC, so most of my Friday I was done with everything. And Saturday morning, I got cleaned house. And then Saturday, at the end of the day, I just chilled. Hung out with cosplayers, hung out with other artists, hung out at Capture Collectibles. That's it. And then Sunday was just, all right, guys, just like, my farewell to everyone. But,
yeah.
Nah, C2E2 is dope, man. C2 is dope.
So let me ask you this. Do you have any of your sketches and stuff handy?
I got one in front of me, and this is not mine. Someone actually hit me up. I'm not sure if I can say their name. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
But they wanted a blank sketch, and Amanda Connor stopped doing blank sketches. If you bought a sketchbook for Amanda Connor, she asked for $200 each.
Mm-hmm.
She's an amazing artist. But I picked up this print.
Oh yeah.
She did this Harley with horns.
Yeah.
On there, and she ripped it like for $60. I'm like, that's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, that was good.
I waited in line 2 hours, but I made friends with Amanda Connor's handler, Patrick, who's from Florida.
Nice.
Yeah, cool ass dude. He was very nice. He came over. He was like, "You've been sitting here for a while. Here's some cookies." Yeah, thanks. So here's my my Batman blank, right? I've been working on this since 2018.
Yes.
Most of them are from New York Comic Con 18. Of course, the Murphy, Frank Cho, Aunt Lucia, Tom King with his amazing amazing Batman there in the cape.
I got you fucked up because I'm drinking from my Spider-Man glass here.
Yeah. Francisco Martina. There's just some signatures on the inside. I got wait, there we go. Some Bab Star.
Nice.
I
just got her variant for 89 number 4.
Oh,
that's
so
a great
good.
cover.
She's awesome. Then Peter Gwynn, our homie Laura Braga, she just signed and like put a Batman cow, a Batman symbol.
Wait, you got to meet Laura? I didn't know that.
2018, man. She was supposed to be in 2019, but she didn't make it.
Oh man, that's rad.
I fanboyed hard as fuck when I saw her because I love her Harley.
Yeah.
Then Jimmy did this.
Wow.
And then, of course, Joel Jones.
Nice.
So super good.
So some of these folks you met multiple times now. I mean, you're kind of a vet at this. I'm pretty new at it still.
Don't let him fool you. He will sit there and educate you on how to map out your backpack for cons. He was like, first, you got to make sure you have your Storefolio. If you don't have that, you're going to mess up because you got to have that place. He goes, you got to tag your artists for your books, have them in order, have them in line. I was like, so when's the YouTube class going up?
Yeah. You know what I did? I actually put Post-it notes on each comic with the color pen that I wanted for that book to be signed because I was like, man, if I got my gold and my silver and my black in my pocket, right, I'm going to be going, okay, now which one is this? Or like, you got this fucking line behind you. I tried to embrace my OCD to the fullest on this trip and have my backpack totally organized, and it was great.
Yeah.
I learned, honestly, like, Risley, he's watching us now. Like, I watch him, like, get ready for a Comic-Con. No one could beat that dude. He's just like, yeah, I'll talk to you later, I'm out. Got things to do. And he gets so many signatures and so many things done. But he's like a DC Marvel guy. He loves comic books. For me, it's like, I don't have to be that hardcore. It's just DC stuff. But I learned from him. We got Baltimore. We got to the hotel and really just like threw all our comic books on the floor. He's laughing. And I was like, all right, cool. What do the schedules look like? And we're like, all right, cool. We're going to hit this first. We're going to hit that. Hey, I got 2 books for this person. You get that signed for me? Sweet. And it was just like teamwork. And like, that's the beauty of it. Like, when you have someone else, you could really knock out a lot more. And especially if you're like 1 or 2 books, it's like, why are you going to stand in line for like 30 minutes for 1 book? But then like your friend's going to go and get multiple books signed. So it's like,
well, and that was a really nice thing about Emerald City is that they started on Thursday. And so I was, in line an hour early on Thursday when by far the fewest people are going to be there, cruising through Artist Alley at opening. I mean, some of them weren't even there yet, but that really gave me a leg up, because there were practically no lines at that point, Yeah,
it's crucial to go like the first day. Mm-hmm. It's because most of the time it's a work day, so it's less amount of people there, and you get so much done. Like, I showed up at 8:30 on Friday, and I was like the 40th person there.
Yeah,
I showed up at 8:30 on Saturday. I was in the second group of people on the second wave the third wave of people that gets launched, and I was like, shit.
Yeah, Saturday was wild too, man. With the reduced capacity, I was like, I don't know how you could fit more motherfuckers in here. I don't know if that's true for Saturday. I think that they went all in.
I only did 1 day for LA. Like, I only did Sunday. And what's really interesting from all the feedback I've gotten from other people was that it was really similar every day. I mean, obviously you had differences of who was going to be there on Saturday only. Like Frank Miller was there on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like Zachary Levi was there on Saturday, and they weren't there Sunday. But everybody I wanted to go see was there all 3 days. So it was okay. So it was like I still was able to make everything in. The con opened its doors at 9:30. I was there at 9:30 to walk in, and everybody rushed the center to get in through the main 2 doors. Mm-hmm. I was all the way off to the right-hand side and just kind of walked my staircase up and got right in, and everyone's trying to book it to the Hot Topic booth to go get the exclusives. And I was just walking by, just kind of around everybody, and it's like, I didn't have to do all that stuff, and I still got in right where everybody else did. I was like, so it's good.
Well, and you did the open to close all in one, right?
Yeah.
How was that, man?
I did all in one on Sunday, and I was there from 9:30 till 5. So it was the full day. I saw everything I needed to. It was really good. But, to kind of go into LA, because that kind of helps transition it, we were talking about, letting people in. It was in the LA Convention Center, and that's a big location. And it was spaced out really well. Like, it was almost too spaced out. Like, you were like, man, I got to go all the way over there to go do this? I was like, oh, okay. So it was a trek. But Artist Alley and the creators section was all on the left-hand side when you walk in. And it was like 5 rows of Artist Alley, but it ran the whole width of the convention center. So it was like, it was 1 row, but you probably had 20 to 30 artists in that one row, and it was a lot. So they spaced them out pretty well. They did a good job. You know, you guys are talking about how when you get there, you have everything lined up, you have everything ready to go, who you're going to go see. I tried that. I really did, because this is really my first year of doing cons by myself. Like, I went to Torpedo Con this year. Dave really helped me get ready for LA, because there was a little bit more to do in this one for me. And I got in and I got lost. Like, I started like walking the vendors, and I started like seeing t-shirts, and I started seeing things, and I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. Oh dude, this is great. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh wait, what time is it? Oh wait, I gotta go. Like, I gotta go do what I gotta do. And you know, the first artist I went to go see was David Nakayama. I went to go see David Nakayama because I had his
the cereal
box cover variants from Batman Adventures Continues, and I had messaged him earlier about going to con, and I asked him, you know, how much are you charging for this? He's like, oh, I'm doing them for free. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'll come by and I'll bring you the books. And he's like, which ones do you have? And I go, oh, the Adventures, you know, cereal box covers. He's like, oh, which ones? And I go, all 5. And he goes, wait, all 5? And I go, yeah. And he goes, no one's brought me all 5 yet. And I'm like, well, I'm bringing you all 5. And he's like, wait, these are the Sanctum Sanctorum variants. And I was like, yeah, my buddy Dave, who was out at Baltimore Con, he grabbed them for me and sent them to me. So I was like, yeah, so these have come a long way to come get your signature. And he was, I actually have them right here. Hold on. As he was signing them, you know, he was going through them, and he talked that this one, his Harley Quinn one, that's his favorite one.
I love it.
So he has that one. That's his favorite. You know, you had the Poison Ivy one, the Mr. J's, the Bat Bits with Catwoman, and then you had the Sub-Zeros.
I like the Catwoman one, man.
The Catwoman one stands out a little bit, but there's that.
They're all so good.
Oh, they're all great. I had to have the set. And there was a guy that we were talking to, JP McFly. He was running a Spider-Man booth, or like a comic booth, and he had the Punchline 1 version cover. So I went to go get that, and then I went back to David, and I was like, dude, sign this for me. And he was like, absolutely. I tried to get his 1 in 25 Wonder Woman Black and Gold cover. Yeah, no, I didn't get the book. But he did have one of his big prints left. He had one. I literally took the last one that he had on his display stand, and he signed that one for me. So that was really, really cool.
Nice.
Going back about the COVID protocol stuff, they were really good. You know, they checked you in ahead of time. They had to make sure everything was legit and on you really smoothly. And then once you were able to get inside, they had like the wipe stations. They had extra wipes for you to grab and take for yourself. They even had extra masks if you wanted to pick up extra masks. There was hand sanitizing stations everywhere you went within a 25, 30-foot radius. They were really on top of their game for this. And the only time you would see celebrities take off their masks is if they were in for a photo shoot. They would even ask the person, like, do you want me to have the mask on? Do you want me to have the mask off? And that was really nice to see that. And what else? Oh, an Artist Alley. I ran into Manuel Martinez. He's a Northern California artist. And what's funny is I bought a piece of his before that was like secondhand. So I didn't buy it from him. And I was walking down Artist Alley and I was like, oh, see, I have that print. And then I was like, wait a minute. The rest of that stuff looks similar. And I started like digging in a little deeper. And I started talking. I was like, dude, I bought this piece. It's a bat symbol that has all the rogues in it. Nice. So it's like, and it's kind of like super cool. I'll send you a picture of this one day so you can see it. But he had these prints, and I bought his Harley Quinn, and then he had another Rogues Gallery one that he did. And his Harley Quinn, because my daughter's named Harley, so literally I have, you know, anytime I can get some cool Harley Quinn stuff, I try to. And he had his artist there, his colorist there, and was like, I was like, well, would you color it? And he was like, sure. He's like, sure. What do you want me to do? You want me to do, like, you want traditional animated series color scheme? Do you want, you know, the Margot Robbie color scheme with like the pinks and blues? And I was like, you know what? This is the first time you're coloring this at all. You get to pick. And he was like, all right. So the black and white ended up turning into this.
Yes. That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So watching them do the coloring and like using the mint greens to like highlight the pale skin tones, I was like, I would have never understood any of this or guessed it. And it was fantastic to watch. It was just amazing. He did it in like 15 minutes. And he was like, can I take a picture of this and post it? And I was like, yeah, like do it, dude. Like I want to see you do it. But that was just like Artist Alley, you know. And the big pull for me that weekend, and I think you guys know this, it was I've never got to meet Kevin Conroy in person. And Conroy was there. So I bought the ticket in advance, and his signing was supposed to be at like 1:30 or 1 o'clock, and I was here at 11:40. I was like, well, I'm gonna go stand in line. Like I'm not gonna wait. Like I'm gonna go stand in line right now and get there. And I got there. I got my poster out that I wanted to get signed. I had it all ready to go. I reorganized my backpack standing in line. I put my earphones in.
You got that
cool
Phantasm one signed, right? That amazing.
Yeah. So actually, I have it right here too. So it was this. It was the Nando one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
So I had him do the whole I am vengeance, I am the night, I'm Batman, right?
Yeah.
And I asked, and I'm standing in line, and all of a sudden this line starts moving, and I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, come on. And you get into the, the aisleway where they have everybody sectioned off, and the guy's like, all right, well, you're next. And I'm like, I'm next? He's like, yeah, you're next. I was like, I thought he's not signing anything. Yeah. And he was like, Mr. Conroy is going through his times. Like, he's just signing everybody through the whole day. And I was like, oh. So my heart started like jumping. I was like, oh man, what am I going to say? What am I going to tell him? Well, dude, this is like, and it's like, I asked his handler, and I said, is it okay to ask him to sign something specific, or is it just going to be his like signature? And he was like, no, absolutely. He was like, what do you want him to sign? I was like, okay. So and as soon as I got there, he was like, hello, what would you like me to say? I was like, if you wouldn't mind, Mr. Conroy. He's like, it's Kevin. And I'm like, Mr. Conroy, if you wouldn't mind signing the I am, and he was like, say no more. And then he just went into it. And by the way, this man's penmanship is ridiculously amazing. And I just was telling him, thank you for portraying Batman and Bruce Wayne to be truly like a pillar and light in Gotham. Like, you made this hero who has been in the dark and does all of his work there and really be a light in the dark. And I said, you really made Bruce Wayne look to be the better person and the better human being all the time. And I said, so thank you for giving us kids as growing up watching this and now as adults to try to emulate that. I said, thank you for that. And he was like, what's your name? And I was like, Fernando. And he goes, give me that back. And he takes it back and he signs it and he's like personalizes it to me. And then he hands it back to me. And I was just like, yeah, thanks. Like, I was just like dumbfounded after that. Yeah. And it just, that was my grail. Cause it was like, they always tell you don't meet your heroes, and it's like, don't meet your heroes if your hero isn't my Kevin Conroy Batman, because all your other heroes suck then. Because wrong. Yeah, right. That's exactly what it was. So after that, I was on cloud 9 for the rest of the day. Like, I was like, I could do whatever the heck I wanted, and it wouldn't have mattered.
That's amazing.
But the thing for Dave, I was able to hook up with Tony Fleeks with Stray Dogs and get a couple books signed. I picked up his trade. This one, he was able to sign this one. Dave sent me a couple of books to get some sketches done for him and some signatures. So those went back to him now. So they're on his way back to him. And I was able to do that. He was a nice guy. When he saw the sketch cover, he was like, oh, I know this one. And I was like, Dave's world renowned over here.
That's funny.
I kind of made a big deal out of it in Baltimore when I met Trish. For anyone who's read Stray Dogs, Sophie's like the main character of that 5-part series. And she did a Sophie in the front. And if you ever buy a Stray Dogs book, they always have their butts in the back. And I was like, hey, Trish, I'm going to come back, and you have to draw the butt in the back tomorrow. And Trish was like, tomorrow we're drawing butts. And I was like, hell yeah, you're drawing butts tomorrow? And she's like, we're drawing butts. So when we had Trish and Tony on the podcast, I was like, I showed the book on the podcast, on the Bat Fan podcast, and Tony laughed about it. And Trish remembered, because I was the first person I asked for a butt on the sketch.
That's funny.
On the cover. And I was hoping Tony would do the same, but he did a really good job with the sketch he did, so I'm excited to get it. Nice. And then when I see him, I'm like, yo, bro, I'm telling him, you got to put the butt on the back. So thanks a lot.
Anytime. Hey, man, you sent me the 5 books from Baltimore, so, there's one hand washes the other. And it was funny when I told him, I was like, yeah, there's the butt on the back sketch. I was kind of like, he wants you to do a butt sketch. And he was like, oh, that's cool. And then he just turned it back over. And I was like, well, there goes that.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you had to try.
Yeah, I'll get him next time.
Well, I guess I'll share some of my Seattle adventure.
Yeah, you went in Seattle.
Wait, time out. If you're not doing the rest of this interview in the jacket. I'm just saying.
It would take me too long to go get it. It's in the closet on a hanger. But yeah,
Right.
pretty much I'll sum it up by saying like each day was like legendary by itself. You know, like you said about, okay, I met Conroy, I can go, like, doesn't matter what happens after this, right? I felt like that every day because the first day I was the first one in line for Sean and Katana Murphy, and it was such a treat, and they were very nice. You know, the whole thing is, Grumps, where's the jacket? It's in the closet, man. I'll bust it out when it's raining. But yeah, so I met them. They were super, super nice. She remembered me from reviewing the White Knight stuff on the podcast and like tagging them in that. And so, yeah, they were really nice. I gave them some stickers and some Batman stuff that I had written. And she actually had me sign that to her, which I thought was neat. I was blown away because, again, I was like the first person in line, and they were very, very nice about. They just grabbed my books and started drawing. I was like, whoa, I didn't ask for that. And so I get this giant Batman head sketch in my hardcover, and she does the little hyena in there. I'm like, oh my God, like, you guys are amazing. I had him do a little Azrael on my White Knight poster that I brought. It was like an 11 by 17 that I already had.
Nice.
And so, yeah, that just set off the day. I was like, man, anything else that happens, yo, Fanzilla, they were just talking about your jackets. That was amazing. I went over to Mirka and Dolfo, who did the art in that punchline number 1 that you just held up on the interior. I asked about commissions. She already had a few lined up somehow, like right at opening, but I was able to get one. And then as I was walking around, I found a bunch of blanks. And so I brought back, yep, I got the same one signed. So I was walking around, I found a bunch of retailers selling blanks, and I bought some, and there was a punchline, and so I brought it back, right? I stopped by the next day. She had finished it. It was phenomenal, like blew me away above expectations. But while she was signing my shit the first day, I had just met Alex Sinclair. And he walks up to her table while I'm putting my things in my bag. And he's like, man, I'm such a fan of your work. Like, I'd love to work with you again. And she like, oh, here, take some of this stuff. And he goes, oh, come over to my booth. I'll give you some of mine. You know, they were just geeking out on each other's stuff. I'm like, whoa, this is cool to witness, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, well, I really hope I get to color your stuff again. You know, that would be so much fun. And I was like, I just paid her to do a black and white commission, right? So the next day when I go back and pick it up, I walk right around the corner and give it to Alex. I'm like, yo, would you color this? I was standing right there when you said that, you know? And so I got a double commission here.
That's nuts.
Drawn by Mirka and colored by Alex Sinclair, the best in the biz. And
Cool.
That's
man,
great.
that just absolutely floored me. Oh, and I have this, talking about blanks. They hooked me up at Sean Murphy's table so much that I went and bought a blank for Joker. I brought it back, and then I paid him to do a little remark cover. And I went back and he left just enough space, so I had Katana add the little hyena there too. So that was amazing. And got a little remark from Terry Dodson.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's a good one.
I got to meet Amy as well. She was there the second or third day. Amy Chu, the writer. I hope someday to get this triple signed and meet Clay Mann. But yeah, I love that Poison Ivy series, The Cycle of Life and Death.
Yeah, I think Clayman's always in New York.
Yeah.
And then day 2, DMC showed up from Run DMC. I kept checking, like he was supposed to be there every day. He didn't show up first day. He wasn't there the second morning, but I circled back and he was there, and there was hardly anybody in line yet. And it was amazing. You know, I'm an MC. I have been for a very long time. And even well before that, the first hip hop that I got into was, you know, that early New York Def Jam shit is Beastie Boys and Run DMC. And, you know, to this day, their music means everything to me. So that was a real treat to get to meet him. And we actually traded information. He hit me up because I asked him if he would be a guest on my other podcasts where I interview musicians. So I'm hoping we can make that happen. But he did follow up with me. So
I was huge, bro.
I was on cloud 9. You know, it was really an amazing day. And then day 3, I had to actually buy extra tickets and buy a different hotel to adjust day 3 because Jim Lee was the big guest last year when it got canceled. And they announced all the guests really late this year. So Jim Lee got added. I booked a Saturday, and I saw that his art dealer was taking commissions for small sketch cards. And I was like, I already have the tickets to meet him. We already blew this last year when I wanted to meet him. You know, I've got everything signed from Alex and Scott Williams. Like, I just got to do it. You know, I went all in, and so I haven't framed it yet. But this is the Hush Batman.
That's awesome, bro.
That's fantastic.
Luckily, I kept going back, and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, you'll probably get it by Sunday." I was like, "No, I'm leaving town Saturday after the Jim Lee signing." So like, I kept coming back to the art dealer over and over again. Hey. Any news yet? And they had it right before the signing. So it was perfect timing. I got to like bring it, show Jim like, oh yeah, I was the one who bought this. He took a picture together with it when he signed my stuff. And that was super cool. They also gave me, everyone who went to the VIP for Jim got like an extra signed print. I don't know if I can reach it from here. Oh yeah. It's a Batman, Catwoman Christmas thing.
That's
Here you
dope.
go.
Oh, from Batman, Catwoman.
Yeah.
Which I haven't read yet. I've been holding out because I'm generally a trade waiter. But yeah, that was super cool. Just as like a bonus for doing that. And yeah, man, like I said, every single day was amazing. And then what you guys were talking about, the hoopla, I guess, the controversy was the jacket, because I was going by, I think on day 2, I do a minuscule amount of cosplay, but it's not really, I haven't really dove into it yet. So I probably walked by this booth the first day, and I'm cruising through again, and on the end is the Bob the Goon 89 Joker jacket, the purple leather jacket with the big old patch on the front. I'm like, holy fuck. I've looked for these before. You know, like I've looked and everything is like a knockoff. You know, like I've seen like shitty, like it's got a Heath Ledger patch on it or something weird. You know, it's like something's always wrong.
It's a Hot Topic thing.
Yeah. And I looked at it and it was pretty much perfect. And I was like, man, I gotta try this on. And I tried it on. It wouldn't quite zip up in the middle. I'm like, I don't know. Plus it's a lot of money, and like all I wear is hoodies, you know, for the last 20 years. So I was like, all right, let me think about it. And so me and the dude are like DMing each other on Instagram that night. Like, well, what about a bigger size? Well, what's the turnaround? Well, how about this? How about that? You know? And so I'm posting the pictures and everyone's DMing me. Did you get the jacket? Oh my God, did you get the jacket? Right. And I'm posting the conversation with my wife where she's like, yeah, dude, that's super cool. And then after a while, she's like, I thought you could tell I was being sarcastic. And I was like, oh, fuck, man. I thought you were into this too. I thought you were, oh yeah, I get it. That's cool. It's your favorite movie. That's rad, you know. But she's like, that's fucking stupid. She's like, the purple jacket with the fur collar. Come on, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like,
If Killer Cam could do it, he was doing pink. Purple's not pink. Purple's a little better.
I mean, I had purple hair for a while, and
Purple is a royal color. Just remember that.
Yeah.
It's royalty.
So I go back the next day. I messaged the dude. I was like, all right, I'm going to come back in the morning. I I'm gonna try it on, take a picture, and send to the lady and be like, look, it's not that bad. It's actually pretty cool, you know. And so I go there and I put it on. The one on the front, I guess, had sold because I had to reach into the middle of the rack and pull up like the last one, and I put that on, and it fit. And it didn't have the furry collar thing. And I'm like, oh, shit. And dude's like, points to the sign. Because, you know, you go there on like the third day, the fourth day. People are marking shit down.
Oh, yeah. They don't want to go back with inventory.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's like, yo, today only, everything's $99. I'm like, ah. And that was a lot. That was a lot off from what it was.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And I was like,
got one. If for that price point, I would have got one.
Dude, I didn't even say anything. I just gave him the nod like, okay, I give in.
Take my money.
I give in. And then when I get home, first of all, I wore that thing out of the con. Like, it was hot the rest of the day, so I had it in a bag. But when I had to walk to my car, it's pouring down rain. I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Like, I'm warm, I'm dry. Like, it's not soaking through my hoodie. I was like, this rules. Then I get home. And I was like, oh, I think it's got some like balled up paper or padding or something in the pocket. And I unzip the pocket. I pull it out. Oh, it's the detachable fur collar. So I put it back on, and it's warm like a scarf, and it's glorious. And I'm so happy. Now I need the black fedora to go with it.
Blake.
It's like and then you just need somebody to walk up to you and be like, you're my number one guy.
Yeah, dude, I wanna hook up with like the Dark Guardian or like Batman in Seattle or something and tell them I'll be their Bob the Goon if they want to do like a shoot, you know.
Dude, $99?
Yeah, I would have bought one too.
Yeah,
it's in a heartbeat. I would have, and Doug, you might laugh at this reference, but I would have treated it like a little kid walking out of the shoe store with fresh J's on. Like, nope, I'm wearing these now.
Yeah,
I'm not taking it off. I'm wearing it now. Sorry.
Yeah, it was the greatest like cherry on top for the whole fucking weekend. Because like I said, it was just like meet my absolute favorite day 1, meet my absolute favorite day 2, meet my absolute favorite day 3. It's like, how could this get any better? Oh shit!
Boom!
It just did.
Jacket.
You know, so
I think
it was a great time.
Like it does get better as like the con progresses on numerous days. Like the first day, like your mind's like, I got so many things I want to get done.
Checklist, yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like, you start knocking that off. And then it's like, for me, the second day was like, all right, cool. Let me check in with people. Because then I was doing that. Like my second day was like, I went to Kimmy Garcia. I got a bunch of books signed. And I was chatting with her for a bit. I went over to Stephanie Phillips, chatting with her for a bit. Joel Jones did the sketch. I like offered to massage her hand, like, and I was like, "Yo, like anytime you see me, be like, Dave, coffee, I got you." Like,
yeah.
The fact that I got a free sketch, like, yo,
that's awesome. I didn't realize.
I was like, my heart was like coming out of my chest when she was doing that. So that was Saturday. So Joel Jones says she might jump on the podcast. Got to talk to her.
Nice.
But Rose Betts. It's weird saying her name. But I met her. She was at the Captured Collectibles signing stuff. I met Javon Jordan, who's doing like these sick variant covers with like Dr. Dre homages,
nice.
DMX homages, like a lot of rap influence. He did. Do I have it on me? Where is it? Here we go.
Is that the
Oh, that Jordan cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah.
I needed that. And he did this Maniac over New York cover. Mm-hmm. And he was mad dope too. Like, he follows me. He'll probably see this. Cool ass dude. It was cool hanging out with him and just talking shit. The biggest thing for me is just running across people that I follow.
Yeah.
That we haven't had a chance to actually meet in person. So, like, I found Nerdy Girl. Her and I were texting. She was like, you got to find me. I'm over here. And I'm like, crap, I'm on a scavenger hunt. Found Nerdy Girl. Hung out with the guys from Short Box. You stopped and saw them at Emerald City. I stopped at Short Box, guys. Yep. And Nerdy Girl was there buying slabs. And talked to Gene, who's the CEO at Short Box. Then I went over to David Adams Comics, chat with them for a bit. Metropolis Comics, located in New York. They were there too. It was dope. Heritage was big too in C2E2. Then I picked up some other exclusives. I was walking, man. I got 19,000 steps in.
So did I. 19,000. Yeah.
Just walking, your feet are killing you. Like, nah, fuck this. One step, another step. Another step.
The perfect training for this, though, because right before, like a week before this happened, I got a seasonal job driving for UPS, so I'm walking around all fucking day anyway. And so I was like, all right, I'm in shape for this. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, just being on your feet all day. It's not easy, man. It's a marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the easy part. For me, that's the easy part is being on my feet and walking around all day. That was the easy part.
You're used to it.
Not me, man.
Yeah, it's I think you talk about it, Dave, right now. You talk about like the getting to meet the people and connect with people that you don't know.
Yeah.
I actually after the Conroy signature, I was on cloud nine, and there was a couple friends of mine that were there at the con, and they were like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm nothing, just walking around now." And
I'm just staring at this poster I got signed.
Right, it's just I just saw Kevin Conroy. I'm like, I'm done. Well, I can go home now. And it was and they're like, "Oh, come meet up with us." So my friends. And Jason, Jose, and Isaac, they run Comic Cave on YouTube and Instagram, and they do their weekly comic reviews, and they've been doing their YouTube channel for over 10 years.
Wow.
So it's their stuff, and so I hung out with them, which then let me meet a new shop owner. Her name's Liz. She runs Ryan's Comics, and then we met Make Havoc. His name's Steve. He actually came out to me. He's like, "You're Nando Knight, huh?" And I was like,
"Nice."
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I'm Make Havoc." And I was like, "Oh, what's up, dude?" And, it was one of those. And you start hanging out with these guys and start talking to them, and it's just a lot of fun. And it was just a lot of fun to build that community. And, Dave really talks about all the time how that's what he wants to do, is he wants to build the community network of people being able to reach out to everybody and have that opportunity, and cross the platforms all together with everyone, because that's how it should be. And, we start seeing that, and it's funny how
it's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly, right now. And it's social media has made that happen. So it's really cool to see all of that happening.
Yeah, and speaking of people that you get to meet that you follow for a long time or on the internet, I did get to meet Dark Guardian, which I think was the first time, either that or it's been many years, because we missed each other on the first couple days, and I finally caught him pretty much on my way out the last day. He does a really cool mashup cosplay where he has the Returns cowl on the Begins chest piece, and he kind of cherry picks the coolest parts of everything and put together his own suit that's really cool. And then also on the last day, I got to see Rogues Gallery cosplay, Julie and Aaron, do awesome shit. I mean, obviously I'm the DC guy, so I was hoping they'd come out with their Batman Poison Ivy or something like that, but they have these amazing homemade, actually functional, animated, light up Iron Man suits that are crazy. And so I met them where he's in the suit and she was Pepper, right? And then I guess they went back the next day and she was in the suit, the rescue suit, the blue one, and he was Tony. So they have one person in and one person out to kind of manage things and do the social media thing and whatever. And I thought that was really smart. But yeah, I followed them forever. They're so creative, so cool. They build amazing things. And then the only one that I missed out on was Stacy Cosplay, who she does a lot of Gwen Stacy, but I just won her print giveaway, grand prize, and got all these cool DC cosplay prints from her. But she only went on the Sunday when I was not there anymore. So, but yeah, it was cool just to. They're like, "Oh, you're Bat Fan Addict." Yo, thank you for supporting the page. Because me, I'm always sharing people's shit 25 times a day, and that's just what I like doing. It's I like this fan community because we can all just talk about the shit that we love, and it's not like we're competing or we're all just having fun with it, Absolutely.
I 100% agree with that. That it's not a competition because, let's be honest, nobody's going to have everything. And when people start thinking that way, like you lose out on it. It's about the appreciation of like Dave and I were talking about this a long time ago. It was like, it's the hunt for me. Like when I do collectibles and stuff, it's the hunt.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to do stuff online, but to go into the buildings and go find stuff and dumpster dive and bin dive and stuff like that, like that's the fun part. But it's also cool when you get to like find something for your friend that collects and you're like, send it to you and I got you.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, what did you get? And then that's the part of it. It's the whole community and camaraderie that comes out of it. That's the vibe that I like out of it.
Well, and Dunk's been offering for a while now, like, yo, if there's anybody at C2 you want me to get, I'm like, well, I do love this Criminal Sanity, man, that just dropped. And so he's been sending me pictures like, yo, I got this cover, I got this cover, I got this cover. What do you think? What do you want to get signed, right? And so while I was out there was a couple exclusives that he wanted me to pick up. So, you know, just like you guys did, we each picked up something for each other too. So I think that shit's really cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And that's like the biggest thing. Like, you know, you build these relationships with people in the community, right? And it's like, you know, like for me, for starters, like the Bat Force is 10 of us. We're nationwide, so it's like we cover most of the cons, and it's like, hey, anyone looking for something? Oh, those are not. Oh, my books.
Those are yours. I don't have your address yet, so.
And like just 10 of us, so like we all go to cons, and it's like, hey, do you guys need anything from here? And like we had this massive chat where we just goof off the entire time. And it's like, hey, you know, do you guys need anything? You guys looking for anything? For the most part, a lot of guys don't chase signatures and stuff. I'm still in that phase. I don't have enough money to like get sketches, get commissions yet, or like move on to that. But I'll stick to like getting stuff CGC'd or signature series, because that's what I enjoy the most right now. But like, you know, you could expand from that, because it's not just like, you know, who you're closest to, but in this community, it's like, hey, you build a bond with other people, like people that you're close to, in a sense. Maybe you make trust, and you help each other out. Like when you listen to like Grumps and Gramps, you hear about me, Miles and the
Time to
Owls,
fun
right?
with Grumps and Gramps.
I'm constantly looking for figs and stuff and all that crap, and because it's a good feeling when you help someone to find something they're having a hard time finding. You
were actually, I think, the first person to ever offer that kind of thing to me, period, when the NECA 89, not the Grapnel, but the Batarang first dropped. And I went to like half a dozen Walmarts. I could not find this fucking exclusive thing. And you're like, yo, you want me to get it? I was like, oh, I just pre-ordered it on Big Bad, you know? So, but I thought that was so nice of you to actually like, yo, I'm scooping up a bunch of men. If you want me to send them to you, I'm like, that's so fucking cool of you. Like, wow.
Well, you know, I'm trying to start something, and my whole thing is, you know, we're all chasing shit. We all want something, and you know, I'm not going to become a millionaire upcharging people for shit.
Yeah.
But building a relationship with someone is more valuable than me making money off them.
Yeah.
You know. But rewind. You were talking about cosplayers before.
Yes.
And so I touched base with the cosplayer that I haven't seen in a really long time. And I think everyone saw this picture. Bruce? And it was Jennifer Van Damsel.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first time I saw her was at New York Comic Con 2018. And she was Supergirl, and she was in the Invicta section. And I remember walking up to the line. It was me and Grumps. This was a Sunday. And she was like, oh, my God, you're so tall. I was like, yeah, I hear that all the time. She was like, can I take a picture with you with my heels off? And I'm confused, right? Because I was like, I'm here to get a picture with you. You can take a picture with me however the fuck you want.
Yeah.
So she took her heels off, and, you know, there's that short-ass picture of her and me.
Yeah.
And then I saw she was here, and she's really funny because I was like, oh, I knew you were here, so I came over. She's like, yeah. You know, I took a picture of like showing a lot of my boobs, but this time I made sure that people read the caption. I was dying laughing. And I was like, I was just happy to see you again. I'm like, I saw you 3 years ago, and she was like, New York City Comic Con.
Nice.
And I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I took off my heels to take a picture with you.
That's cool.
And I was like, this height really does help.
Yeah.
And we got a picture together. But it's funny, I bought a print. Right. And the story is first of all, I was looking at the prints, and shout out to, is it NRG Comics? Dude walks up next to me and goes, pervert, and like his band walks away. And I was like, this motherfucker. It's funny as hell. But I was looking at her prints, and I was like, all right, like, I love Harley Quinn, so I'm going to get a Harley Quinn print.
Yeah.
I was looking at this one.
Nice.
Right? Thought it was cute. She didn't give me that one. She gave me this one. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely a perv. So I didn't notice that she gave me the wrong one until I got back to my room. And I was like, shit, she gave me the wrong one. I really wanted the other one.
Yeah.
The one her holding the bomb. And I went back the following day, and I was like, hey, listen, can I get this print? And she was like, didn't you get that one yesterday? And I was like, no. You gave me another one. And she's like, no, I'll give it to you for free. Don't worry about it. I was like, no.
That's nice.
I'm here to support you, you know, like as a cosplayer, as a creator, as an artist of your craft. No. And she was giving me a hard time taking my money. And I just like, no, all right. So she had a tip jar. It's like $10, threw it in the tip jar. And I gave her the 20. I'm like, you still get my money. It just looks different. Give me a print. And she was a total sweetheart. We had a conversation. I hope to get her on the Everything Batman podcast.
Yeah, that'd be great.
She was nice. She actually she did a signing with Jimmy Sunday, which I was unable to go because I had my flight Sunday evening, so I had to leave a little early.
Yeah.
But besides her, the only other cosplayer I touched base with is this cosplayer in California, in Chicago, Perfectly Teresa. She's so sweet. She was at New York Comic Con. She hooked me up with a Friday ticket to give a friend.
Nice.
And it was very nice of her. And she, you know, I was trying to pay her, and she was like, "No, just pay it forward." And I was like, "Really? At all people, you're telling me that?" I'm like, "Okay, cool, no problem. I have no problem doing that." And she was in Chicago on Sunday with her Comic Con buddy, and we had dinner together and met her cosplay friends and all this stuff. And it was a great Saturday night evening hanging out with the cosplay community in Chicago. And just shout out to Perfectly Teresa. Go follow her. She's a great cosplayer, very sweet, very humble. But it was very nice. That was a very nice Saturday doing that. But that was like, I didn't really, there's a lot more anime.
Yeah, dude. I was looking for all the DC cosplay, and honestly, I was like, there was not a lot going on the first couple days, especially.
Yeah. Besides the one person I missed that I was trying to find, and you messaged me.
Yeah.
You like
Amanda Lynn.
And I was like, I know, I can't find her.
Yeah.
She actually, like, as I left, then she posted her taking pictures as Batgirl. And I'm like, I would have recognized her as Batgirl in a heartbeat.
Yeah. What you were saying about being surprised when the person you're trying to meet wants a picture with you.
With you.
I had that happen with Amy Chu because I had gotten that Terry Dodson remark ahead of time, but I had specifically looked for that variant because I thought it was so cool, right? And so I gave it to her to sign the next day, and she's like, "Where did you get this? This is a rare cover." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" I mean, like I just kind of hunted around. I found one on eBay, and she's like, "Wow, can you hold this so I can take a picture of you with it? That's like a cool." She's like, "I might have to eBay one of those for myself." I'm like, "Wow, that's awesome. That's cool." And it's like nothing that I fucking made or anything like that. It was just like, "Ooh, good eye, good taste," you know?
Yeah. Something I didn't have like somebody stopped and tried to take my picture, but when Kevin was signing the Mondo print poster for me, when he unrolled it, his handler saw that on the bottom of it. I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. On the bottom of the print on the back of it, it's a Mondo Warner Brothers sample.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
It has the sample stamp on it in the back of it, and he's like, so he unrolls it. And he goes, "Oh, this is one of my favorites." And I was like, he likes the one I brought. I was like, so it was like, you know, and to hear Kevin Conroy like point out that, you know, while everybody else was bringing Pop Funko figures or Arkham stuff and animated series stuff, like he was like, I like this one. And I was like, yay.
When I was meeting Jim Lee, I got Alex and Scott to sign all my other things first, right? He was my last stop because you got to buy a ticket to meet him at a certain time and whatever. But I had this Hush poster, a full 24 by 36 poster that I had them sign. And so when his people were like unrolling that for him, he's like, "Where did you get this?" Because you can't get them. And like it's been a couple years, but I think I like imported it or something when I knew I was going to meet him the last time. And the dimensions are kind of weird because it's not like official. And he's like, this has got to be some kind of bootleg because it doesn't have like the official like copyright shit on the bottom or something. He's like, these are so out of print. He's like, I don't know if maybe someone scanned the original or like, what is this? He's like, but I just thought it was interesting that he was like, how did you find one of these? You know?
It's always good when the guys who do the work are stopped going, like, where did you get this?
Yeah, and he wasn't like knocking it or anything like, oh, this is some second-rate knockoff or something. He was just like, oh, wow, that's cool. I, don't see a lot of these anymore.
That's cool.
I think overall, I had like two really great moments. And like one was, you guys follow Lucky Star art?
Yeah, I think I do.
I think so.
Yeah. Stephanie Levoot, this amazing artist. She, her and I have been chatting since we met in 2019 at New York Comic Con. And I go up to her booth, right? And I haven't seen her since 2019. And she just goes, Dave? Like, runs up to me and gives me a hug.
That's nice.
And like at that moment, I was like, this artist is phenomenal. And then at that moment, this woman, Natalie, she was one of the people who was collecting art for the St. Jude's auction that happened Saturday evening.
Yeah.
And one of the pieces, so Stephanie actually donated one of her pieces. This amazing Daredevil piece. It must have been like 18 by 24 that she did. And she did this thing where like, before she handed it off to Natalie, she was like, can you give me a minute, please? She like looked at her piece one last time, and you can see how emotional she got. And I was like, what a beautiful thing that someone draws something with so much passion that it's hard to let go. But she knew that it was for a better cause. In 2019, I picked up a piece for Legends. It was Nora Mr. Freeze that she drew in a ballpoint pen.
Mm-hmm.
When I picked it up, and I was like, hey, I'm here to pick up a piece for Legends. And she was, oh, okay. She's like, and what's your name? And I was like, oh, I'm Dave. Hey, she's like, give me this thing. She did the same exact thing. She gave me a minute. And I saw her eyes like watering up. And she was like, this is one of my favorite pieces I ever drawn.
Wow.
And I was like, Mr. Freeze and Norway? Yeah. Like, holy hell, it was fucking amazing. And like, I took a picture of it with her. I took a picture of her holding the piece. Something I'll probably reshare tomorrow. Like, first time I met her.
Yeah.
And she gave me the piece and she's like, please take good care of it. And I was like, I still have to ship it to California. I'm so scared. And just to know that, like, she's so humble and like so passionate about what she does. And like that moment, I was like, wow, like that's amazing. But besides Joel Jones doing my Catwoman, when I met Rose, like I didn't know much about her. I recognized some of her covers.
Yeah.
And we were hanging out at Capture Collectibles, and it's me and Murphy over in Skeptical Comics. We're just chatting, and like she's like laughing at us. I'm like very witty.
Yeah.
And depending on people's wittiness, it tells you a lot about their intelligence or like where they are. And man, she was giving it to us. And just that, like everyone's human. At the end of the day, like at these Comic-Cons, the fact that I'm not standing in line for 4 hours for someone or 3 hours, like these lines are really short because of what we're going through globally.
Yeah.
You have these interactions with these people and you build these relationships and you realize everyone's just people. Like everyone's just human. And as long as you're not being weird or being a creep, like you're just them,
I definitely felt weird going back to some artists like a second time. Like, oh, I found this out here. Would you sign this too? But like they were all about it. They were totally down.
I didn't. I ran into my friends who like I did like because I kind of like was like, you guys got to like Dave Nakayama was super cool. He was super nice, and I was like, I brought them all back with me, and I was like, hey, look, I brought more people for you, and then he was like, oh my god, like thank you, like da 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 da, and then it's like Tony Fleeks, and then. It was like, then we went back with Manuel Martinez, and it was like, I was like, everybody I hit already once. I was like, no, guys, you guys got to go meet these guys. And then they're like, oh, yeah. And then all of a sudden they're exchanging cards and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I totally was fanboying out like the whole week, the whole day I was there. I was like, no, did you see this person yet? No, go see this person. Go see this person. Like, I was like a little kid all on Sunday.
Nice.
It was nice.
Like the first time, I don't want to have too much on me.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, man, like Amanda Connor. All right, I got these 5 books for you and Jimmy. And then it's like, all right, I got another 4 books the second time I see you. And I did the same thing with Kimmy Garcia, same thing with Stephanie Phillips. Stephanie Phillips actually left 1 book behind. And then I was like, screw it, I'm bringing it. I had her sign this one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Then I had her sign this one. Well,
That's a good one.
I had her sign this one. That was the first day. And then I was like, crap, I left this one at home? Really? So then she signed this the second day, and we just chatted for a bit. It was nice. It was just nice that, again, like, I think right now, you have to take advantage of the cons if you could go, just because there's not much people going there.
Yeah.
There's entire, making sure you're vaccinated to get there. It's like a kind of like great safety net, and also a great opportunity to have better conversations with these creators, and and then to actually get to know you a little bit. Like when I spoke with Joel Jones about Oregon and my trip to the West Coast, I did the same thing with Rose. And then like Stephanie talk about deep dish pizza compared to New York. And I was like, I'm not doing deep dish. And I'm like, just these conversations, it was just simple conversations, not like, what's your next project? Not that basic nonsense. It's like, no, like we're human. We're talking about food. And I'm like, where'd you go for dinner last night? And I was like, oh, that place sucked. And I was like, yeah. Like, it's having a conversation with your friends just because you can. It's not pushing the herd. Like, hurry up, get your book signed. Next. None of that was happening. And
And granted, I feel a little bit like that when it's the big signings, like Jim Lee was the only one where I had something else that I wanted to give to him, and the next person's already getting shoved in there. I'm like, okay, well, and that was sort of like when I met Michael Keaton was the same kind of thing of just the handlers are moving everybody because there's a big line and everybody, I don't know. I don't know if they oversold or what.
What's really funny, when I went back to Nakayama, I didn't expect somebody in the group that I was walking with to actually have a commission that they were going to pick up from him.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, oh, and they're like, yeah, we know we're behind schedule. And he's like, well, can you give me 2 hours? And like when he said, can you give me a couple hours? I was like, oh, okay, we'll come back. I mean, but all I saw on the paper were the blue pencil like circles of what he was going to do. And he was going to do a Spider-Man. Well, this is the thing he did in 2 hours.
Nice.
Oh,
that's great.
Yeah.
Full color and everything.
It was a full, I want to say 14 or 16 inch page that he did. And, you go back in there when you have that opportunity, you really think about it. It's like, these guys are at conventions because they're doing this as a fan service for us. And we're fanboying out for all of them. But you realize how much work they're putting out for everybody that they're there for, whether it's a signature, a sketch, a remark, or a commission.
Yeah.
And they're knocking these things out in a couple of days, and it's ridiculous. And it's just, you sit there, and that's why, David's talking about, you build the connection of the real human being of the artist and the person there, because you also want to show your gratitude to them. And we're all there for the same purpose, to enjoy it, have fun, and show our appreciation. But that's the point, is you also have to be gracious to them because of all the work that they're putting out for us.
Yeah, and it was cool, like you mentioned, to kind of actually see them work too. To watch Sean Murphy just do a quick sketch. Like he did this crazy technique where, he's drawing like this, and then he does this weird thing with his thumb and his pinky where he's side sketching weird. I'm like, what the fuck is this magic? And then later when I was in line to meet Scott Williams on the third day, Alex was going to bring my color commission to pick up. And so I'm in line. I think I'm about fourth in line, and he's just making chit chat before they open with the first person in line. And he pulls out from his bag my cover, and he pulls out his tools and whatever, and he starts adding some finishing touches or whatever. So here I am in the middle of the line. I'm zooming in on my phone, filming him kind of do the little white highlights and shit before I get to pick it up. Like it was just cool to watch these dudes do their thing. And I don't know, man. It's like, especially these ones that you've been reading their stuff for years and years. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a musician. I love getting to see all the behind the scenes shit and collaborate with people in the studio. And, you know, it was kind of like that. Like I've never had that with artwork before, to just watch motherfuckers do this for you in person.
Have you guys thought about like what cons you're trying to do next year?
Well, 2020 was supposed to be my, like, I'm going all in on cons year. And so, since that didn't happen, I wound up spending way too much money just on like hot toys and, you know, mail order signings. But I'm hoping that next year I'll either do San Diego or New York, if not both, because I really want to go to these bigger ones. And, you know, like I said, I crossed so many people off the bucket list on this trip. Like, there were already so many people who were in LA where Nando was at that I wanted to see. There were lots of people in Chicago or who were just at New York a little while ago. You know, like, I want to go to some of these bigger ones and try it out.
How about you, Nando?
I think for sure I'll already be in San Diego, but I might be in San Diego for work, so that might be something different.
Give me a pass.
We'll see. I'll just hire you for the weekend. There you go.
I work for
Yeah, right. Come work for me for a weekend, and there you go. But WonderCon is in April, so it's going to be April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Nice.
My son's birthday is April 1st, and I think he's starting to kind of be at the age now where he can like enjoy like the cosplay, getting some sketch stuff done, seeing some of the toys and the shows and stuff like that at conventions. And WonderCon's not on the grand scale of like a New York or a San Diego, so it might be a little bit easier for him to work. So I think Dad and him are going to go have a solo con trip to WonderCon for his birthday.
Cool.
That's in Anaheim, right?
Yeah, it'll be in Anaheim.
That's something to remember forever, man.
Yeah, and then one of my buddies, Isaac, he's like, man, we need to do an East Coast one. He goes, we need to do C2E2 or we need to do New York. And I'm like, you know what? Wherever we go, we'll make it a family trip, and then we can do this. I'm like, let's do an East Coast one next year. So
Nice.
There's at least 2 on the books that for sure that I know about, maybe 3.
Badass.
I'm so ready for cons. You have no idea. I got 5 in mind right now.
Didn't you talk about the London one? No.
Yeah, yo, for real. I just told Laura Braga that. I was like, because she messaged me today, and she shared my Christmas tree stuff yesterday.
Yeah, that
like,
was cool.
No way. Shit, all my Christmas tree shit. And I was like, hell yeah. But she was like, oh, I can't wait. You know, I can't wait to see you. And I was like, I can't wait to see you, like ASAP. I'm planning on going to MCM in London.
Wow.
I told her, let me know, because if I could do that, I'll go to London. But as of right now, what I have planned, Wicked Comic-Con in Boston, Sean Murphy and Katana Cons are going to be there, so I'm going to show up. It's a 2-hour drive. Why not?
If you go to London, though, I'm going to be on you to get me some Bermejo signatures or something.
Brother, you got my number. So hit me up. The week before that is actually WonderCon, so depending on that lineup, I don't know. Am I seeing you Sunday? Let's see. That's April.
If you're coming out here, Dave, you already know. You're already taken care of on that, so you don't have to worry about that.
Trip a year. Or 2. Whatever. Then is it June Heroes Con? Yeah, Heroes Con is Charlotte. Everyone talks about how great Heroes Con is.
Yeah.
So that's June 22nd to the 24th. Then August is C2E2. And I'm going to go back to Chicago, man. Chicago was freaking amazing. I have to take more days so I can enjoy the city and not get shot. But if I can enjoy the city during the day and not get shot, and like go to like all the locations where The Dark Knight was filmed.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that there was a map, all the filmings of Dark Knight, and I was like, damn it, I can't do this right now. I got to run to the con, because during con days, it's a whole day.
But you going to Chicago in the summer is going to be a lot different than going in December. So just be prepared for the humidity. It's going to be hot.
I'm not worried about the humidity, bro. I'm worried about the bullets. And then, of course, like New York Comic Con, is a must because that's when the team gets together.
Yeah.
And then probably do Baltimore again because Baltimore seems to be a really good con every year. So I got 5 on the books. If I could do MCM, that'd be 6. If Terrificon ends up being dope, that's 7. So I might go over my days. I got to do a lot of Uber Eats.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I spent way too much at this one con. I gotta dig myself out of that hole first, okay?
Yeah.
I definitely sold some toys that I didn't need anymore, and I was like, this is con money, so I can go in without hurting myself.
I went with a budget, and then when Jim Lee added a day, well, then that's an extra ticket, and then that's an extra ticket to him specifically, and then that's an extra hotel, and then that's an extra all the meals, and then it's like, fuck it, he's doing sketches too, whatever, let's do it. You know, it's like I'm already this far over budget. Like, what are you gonna do?
You were already all the way in. You were like, I'm just staying.
I'm committing.
Not leaving.
I'm committing.
Yeah, I'm but then what's the other one I want to go to? I want to go to MegaCon. All right, I gotta start stripping. Not for guys, clearly. You know, if they pay well.
Yeah, you gotta take the money where you get it.
Hey, ain't nobody mad at you.
And like, you know, you always like one thing: find a hotel that has breakfast. Right, that's like step 1. Right, you get to feed yourself, grab a couple of bananas.
No. I brought a box of cereal. I found a corner store nearby with the almond milk. So I had my fucking in the hotel breakfast every day, so I was good. I brought my granola bars in my backpack with the comics, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah, the snacks is the biggest thing, man, because like you're standing in those lines. I'm like,
yeah.
You got to snack. You got to have snacks. You got to hydrate. You got to stretch. You know, because sometimes you're standing in a line, especially when someone's doing sketches. Like you're just standing there, like, yo, just not moving.
You know, I have to admit, like the longest line I sat in was Conroy, and it was maybe 20 minutes. That was the longest line I sat in for anything at all. Keith David was supposed to do a signing, from what my understanding was, but they didn't end up doing it. So I took my NECA Goliath box, and I was going to have him sign the box, and that didn't end up happening. But there was no real lines. I mean, like Nakayama, I was able to walk right up. Fleeks, I was able to walk right up. Everybody else, I was able to go right up to him and talk to him and do it. So I was like super happy. Yeah. And I mean, maybe it's because I went on Sunday when everybody else had already gone Friday and Saturday. But
Sunday's a good day for that stuff.
Yeah, that's how it was for me on the weekdays. And then really the only long wait, you know, that was like 45 minutes, I think, for Jim Lee. And I was one of the first people lined up, but it still took a while to get through there. But yeah, everything else is like you either go right up to the person or there's 2 people ahead of you. And you know, so I, like you were saying about, you know, the reduced capacity stuff. I mean, I felt really safe. Everybody had to get, you know, they went through the screening, everyone had their masks on, and, you know, it was just instant access to all these amazing guests. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I think as horrible as it would sound, I hate saying shit like this, but as long as we're in this COVID world, like this is gonna be cons, and I'm gonna love it. Once you get back to like every line being over an hour, fuck it.
Yeah.
And then you pay for the VIP pass and all that stuff, but it's enjoyable right now. Just less people, and then, you know, I'm not one to tell people what to do, but it's nice to know that at least everyone's vaccinated in the place.
Yeah.
You know, and we're being responsible, wearing the mask and stuff, and, you know, it's like everyone caring for one another, making sure that we enjoy it and we walk out of it okay.
Yeah.
Even the artists and the people who work there, and that's great. Do I want cons to go back to normal? No, because I get so much done right now, but that's me being selfish. It'd be great to have, you know, more people there, just to have more people to enjoy shit with and all that. But I like the fact that cons are like what it used to be. You know, they're not heavily, like, we have all these vendors who are not there, right? No huge DC presence, no huge Marvel presence, no huge, not a million actors and people from TV. It's legit more like just the creators. And
it's the books. It was the books and the art.
Yeah. And if this is what everyone went through all the years that I didn't go to cons, man, I missed out on so much shit because it's awesome right now. And again, it's like more intimate. You could talk to people a little more. You don't feel rushed. I could get used to this, but in a way, it's like that's just my selfishness, and it'd be cool to have more people around.
You were talking about like the line waiting and stuff like that, right? And it's like, the only two that I could compare to this year was I did TorpedoCon earlier in the summer, and I did the Frank Miller package. Like I got Frank Miller's signing, and I then had Sinclair sign one of the same books too. That, and then it was Brian Azzarello was there, so it was like I got Azzarello's signature, and it was like I was going back. I got Frank Cho that day. I was
wondering about that because you were at this one that a lot of those names you just mentioned were at, and I was like, should I ask him why he didn't mention any of them? Like, you already met him.
So it was like, but I was going back and forth on that convention, and I was running like a chicken with my head cut off to try to get in lines because I was like, oh, I got to make it. But for LA, on a bigger scale comparatively, it was cake. It was an easy day. It was just, I was really relaxed. I walked in, walked around, had my water bottle, had my snacks, and I didn't have any problems all day. And the nice thing was LA, the one thing I did say that I did like about it is LA had a food truck court outside.
Nice.
And they had a Voodoo Ranger beer garden outside as well too, which they didn't plan well enough for that one because they ran out of all the beer before anybody could really even get out there. But the food trucks were really cool. It was really nice to have that. They had cornhole playing outside. People were out just outside eating, talking, hanging out. And it was really nice.
That's awesome. The big thing that like you mentioned TorpedoCon, talk about all-star team for a con, right? And because of that, like the lines are a little longer because there's not much to spread out. But like you have Comic-Cons, I was when I was standing in line, two of the guys I was talking to, they were like, "What do we do?" Because it was the first time there.
Yeah.
I was like, "Guys, like it's 8:30 in the morning. We're the third wave. Like you're good. Don't worry about it." And they were like, we looked behind us at like 9:45, 15 minutes before the fucking whoever let the dogs out, and there's like 1,000 people behind us, maybe more. And like you see, like there's only going to be like 200 people in front of us. Like you're good at whatever you want to do because there's so many people there for so many reasons, right?
Yeah, they're going to spread out.
People, everything spreads. There's people for comic exclusives. There's people for signings. There's people for photo ops. There's people who just cosplay. There's people who are there for wrestling shit. There's people looking for toys. There's people just to be there, right? And people freak out at first, and it's like, no, you're fine. And then I spoke to the guys afterwards, and they were just like, yo, you're right. We got so much done. We were like 15 or 20th in line, and I was just like, yeah, like you're good. Like like there's so much spread out at a bigger con, compared to like a TorpedoCon where it's just like
it was super concentrated.
You got like the all-star team of comics in one location, and it's like shit. It's going to take a while. And there's all the packages and signatures and sketches and all this stuff happening. But at a con, it's like, if you're there early, you could just speed walk to where you want to get done first.
Yeah. Well, hey, guys, this has been a really fun recap. I have got to wrap it up for the evening, but thank you. I'm glad that we all had such a great time on our each solo adventures. I've been recording this, so I'll drop it on the Bat Fan Addict podcast as a little bonus episode for everybody who didn't get to tune in right now.
Awesome. Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
Be posted.
And also not only that, but thank you for inviting us onto this because, this is, it was a lot of fun to get together and talk about it. But, you really are the one that kind of put it all together for all of us to come together and share our time. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That, this is fun. It's fun to do this.
It was one of those like, all right, do I need to bust out a solo episode? And I was like, wait, Fernando just went. Wait, Dave just went. Shit, dude, let's do a team up and like we'll all have our own story. It'll be perfect. So I'm
Wonder Twin Powers. No.
Exactly.
I'm about that life.
This is Robin. Thanks for checking out the Bat Fan Addict podcast with Sammy Warm Hands.
All right, that is our show. Huge thanks to Dave and Fernando for jumping on and joining me. I did just want to air this on the channel for anybody who missed it, who doesn't follow our Instagram. If you want to, it's at Bat Fan Addict. You can also support the show by clicking the link in our bio or visiting patreon.com/batfanaddict. Now, we did make mention to some comic book covers or some artwork throughout the show. So if you want to see a visual version of this recap, there is a YouTube version. You can go to the Bat Force on YouTube and the Everything Batman podcast, where we all tell these stories, but with the visual aids. So check that out, and we'll see you for season 3.